What is going on, guys? We are already on week 3 of the month of anime. That is crazy how fast this year is already flying by. I mean, it feels like it just started. Like, honestly, when I first started this whole month of anime May thing, I was joking. I did not think every video I was going to be posting this week for this month was going to be an anime video, but honestly, that's the way things have been going so far, which I'm not complaining about. The very first video I posted was a video about the top 5 anime to get into for anybody that would love anime to just start watching it, whatever they would like. The second video I did was the top 5 anime villains that I think are the best villains in anime. And for this video, it's gonna be something related to an anime that can only be played with card games.
Card games on motorcycles!
I want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to talk about 5 cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That characters have used throughout the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Well, there may be other cards used in other series, but these 5 cards, when they were first used, they were just used to screw the rules in Yu-Gi-Oh! To just make it so that the protagonist of the game won. Specifically in Duelist Kingdom, it was just fixed so Joey or Yugi could win every duel. But I want to talk about the cards that these characters used that in real life make no sense when they're compared to how they're supposed to be used when they're used in anime compared to the actual game. So, without further ado, let's start off with number 5.
It's time to do.
Taking the number 5 spot would be the trap card, Call of the Haunted. This card is actually one of my favorite trap cards that has ever been created in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! We first see it being used in the anime when Bones duels Joey in that underground cemetery duel arena. And with that one, it just completely screws the rules in how it's supposed to be played in real life.
Screw the rules, I have money.
In the anime, when Bones uses this card against Joey, he uses it to bring back all his monsters that Joey defeated, and they come back as zombie-type monsters, which is nothing what really happens with the card in real life. We do see this card be used again, and this time it's in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, where Yusei uses it in his duel in the facility against Chief Armstrong, and that's when Yusei uses the card correctly. What it is in real life is that I like it so much is that it's basically another monster reborn. Once you choose to activate this card, you choose a monster only from your graveyard. You can bring it back in attack mode, and when Call of the Haunted is destroyed, that card is destroyed. But it's basically like another monster reborn. It's used correctly in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds to bring back a monster, only one monster. However, when Bones uses it, like I said, he brings back all his monsters. And no, it doesn't change the monsters, what type they are. Like, if it's a dragon-type monster and you use Call of the Haunted, it doesn't come back as a zombie-type monster. It'll come back as a dragon-type monster. But I think we can let this slide for the first time being used, because not only is the duel with Joey and Bones in that underground cemetery really fun to watch. First time we really get to see zombie-type monsters being played, but just the comedy we see with Tristan and Yugi and Bakura and Taya being chased by boulders, Tristan trying to punch out a boulder, them being attacked by skeletons while they're looking for Joey. I think just the comedy with that And the fact that they screwed the rules so hard with Call of the Haunted, but in a cool way, I think we can let it slide. But in real life, it can only bring back a monster from the player's graveyard, and that's it. For number 4, this one is probably one of my favorite monster cards in real life. Just like in real life how Call of the Haunted is one of my favorite traps, this is one of my favorite special effect monsters, and that is the card Copycat. I don't think we really see Copycat be used after Duelist Kingdom. That's the only time Joey Wheeler uses it, and he majorly abuses the card's power, especially in his duel against Yugi when they're in Pegasus's castle. The very first time we see he use Copycat, I believe, is against those twins in the labyrinth, which he does use it correctly. So with Copycat, once you play it on the field, its special effect is that it has the ability to copy any monster's attack points. So say you're up against like a Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician, you can play down Copycat and it can copy the Blue Eyes White Dragon's attack points. So Copycat would have 3,000 attack points. So if it would attack Blue Eyes White Dragon, both would be destroyed. However, even though Joey correctly uses it when he duels the Paradox Brothers, the rules are completely screwed when he uses it against his duel with Yugimoto.
Screw the rules! I have the same.
When Joey uses Copycat against Yugi in his duel to see who will take on Pegasus, it completely does not follow the rules. Like, Yugi, or Joey, he plays Red Eyes Black Dragon, then he draws Copycat, and he uses Copycat, and instead of legitly playing it, he uses it to copy the spell Polymerization, and once he uses that, he uses it to fuse Red Eyes Black Dragon and Summon Skull to form a Red Eyes Skull Dragon, which in the anime was really cool to see, but of course the creators took the rules of Copycat, completely screwed it over to give Joey the winning edge over Yugi. I mean, it was really cool to see this Red Eyes Skull Dragon for the first time, but that's another card that completely screwed the rules to have one of the main characters of Yu-Gi-Oh! Have a major advantage with a strong monster in a duel, in Duelist Kingdom. And so for that takes number 4 in times anime cards that were used in Yu-Gi-Oh! Completely screwed the rules of real life. Alright, coming in at number 3 is a card that honestly can give you a win if you play the duel completely strategically. And that is the trap card Mirror Force. Mirror Force has got to be one of the coolest cards. I don't know if it's allowed in real life because to me, I feel like if you can do this thing where you have a Mirror Force lying face down, and if your opponent has all these monsters set up in attack mode, like their field is filled with monsters, and one of their monsters goes for a direct attack, or to attack any monster you have on your field, you can activate Mirror Force, and all their monsters will be destroyed, leaving them open. You can bring like a Call of the Haunted out, you can bring out a Monster Reborn, bring out some pretty top strong monsters you may have in your graveyard, and you can win the duel that way. But I feel like your opponent could counter that with a spell or a trap card of their own, like Dust Tornado, or like a Dark Hole or a Geki. Anyway, the reason that I'm saying this card was used to screw the rules was back in Duelist Kingdom, of course. And that was used by Yugimoto. Always, just for the plot of the duel, Yugi has to win by changing the rules of it. And for the most part, he does follow the rules of Mirror Force. But sometimes he does stretch them. Like when he duels Weevil Underwood in Duelist Kingdom, he does use Mirror Force at this one point. And yeah, it does destroy Weevil's monsters, leaving his field wide open. But a rule that Yugi added to the card is that a certain percentage of those monsters that were destroyed on Weevil's side of the field, their attack points get taken from Weevil's life points, which I wish that was the case in real life. That would be a lot easier to win the duel. But in real life, no. Mirror Force just destroys your monsters on the field that are in attack mode. Any attacking monsters in an attack position, doesn't matter if they didn't attack or not, they're all destroyed, which is really nice. But yeah, just in real life, Mirror Force doesn't take a percentage of those monsters' attack points and take it away from your life points. So that's another big example in how the anime screw the rules with such a great trap card. And for that takes number 3. For number 2, in a card that screwed the rules in the anime compared to the rules in real life, is the spell card Flute of Summoning Dragons. And this card was used by Seto Kaiba in the Duelist Kingdom in Season 2, when Kaiba's dueling Yugi in the Colosseum. And honestly, the plot just did Kaiba dirty in this. I mean, when Kaiba uses the Flute of Summoning Dragons, he's able to bring out his Blue Eyes White Dragons, and he's going to be able to bring out his Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to attack Yugi directly. And at this point, with a direct attack, it would wipe Yugi out, and then Yugi, or Kaiba, would win the duel. He would go on to face Merrick in the final rounds. Merrick would probably beat Kaiba with the Winged Dragon of Ra, or, I don't know, Kaiba could beat Merrick. Apparently he figured out how to beat the Winged Dragon of Ra. Anyway, when Kaiba first uses Flute of Summoning Dragons and attacks with it, there's nothing Yugi can do. I mean, if I can remember correctly, like, he only has Dark Magician out. Dark Magician would have been destroyed. He would have lost the rest of his life points, losing the duel. But they decided to pull a huge screw the rules so Yugi could win this duel and go on to face Merrick. So, Kaiba himself, he does use the card correctly. In real life, you have to have a Lord of Dragons on the field to activate this card. And once you activate this card, you're able to summon 2 dragons from your hand onto the field. And Kaiba himself, he does use this card correctly. But nowhere does it say that your opponent is able to do the same thing, to be able to summon any dragons onto their side of the field, which in the anime is what Yugi does. In the anime, Kaiba is able to bring out his dragons. He's able to bring out his top fighting dragons. He goes for game with a direct attack, and Yugi has this kind of like mind experience where he's talking with Joey in his mind, and he's like, "Joey, help! I'm about to lose this duel!" And Joey's just like, "Nah, you still got this duel. You can beat Kaiba. Go for it, dude! You remember I gave you a card that'll help you out." And so after the smoke clears and the attack happens, Yugi's still standing and Kaiba's like, "What? That attack should have destroyed you! What happened?" And Yugi, because Yugi has to go on to face Merrick because he's the whole hero of the anime, he's like, "Now, what you did not realize is that Flute of Dragons may have helped you, but it lets me summon dragons onto my side as well. So I brought Red Eye's Black Dragon out to help defend against your attack, Kaiba. It's just, with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Kingdom, fine, it's just meant for entertainment. Battle City, they do focus more on following the rules, like with level 5 or 6, 7 up. They do follow the rules that you need to make 2 or 3 sacrifices to summon high-level monsters. But at this point, Battle City, they went back to Duelist Kingdom style where they just didn't follow the rules, and honestly, that was a major ripoff for Kaiba. He totally won that duel, but just for the plot of the anime, Yugi had to win. So that comes in number 2, in way the anime cards screwed the rules in real life. Alright, coming in at number 1 is the trap card, Mirror Force. Mirror Force, in the anime Duelist Kingdom, we first see it be used with Yugi and Mai in the finals, and when they're dueling Pegasus Castle. And Mai, she uses it against Yugi every time. Every time Yugi goes in for a direct, she activates the card. And in real life, Mirror Force is a continuous trap card, but in real life, it does come at a steep price. Every time that you're gonna use Mirror Force, you gotta pay 2,000 life points to activate it. And yes, it does cut the attacking monster's attack points in half, but it's very steep. Even starting out with 8,000 life points, you can only use it 4 times in real life before you can run out of life points. Yeah, I get why they completely forgot the rules, ignored the rules for this card. I mean, in Duelist Kingdom, they only started out with 2,000 life points, so Yugi's first attack, when Mai activated the card, she would just automatically lose if they use the effect of Mirror Force in real life, if they put that effect into the anime. But honestly, that kind of would be funny if Yugi would go, "Now, Dark Magician, attack! Destroy Hoppy Lady!" And Mai activates the card, and Yugi would go, "Sorry, Mai, but Mirror Force takes away 2,000 life points every time it is activated." And then we can see Mai's life points go to 0. That would have been awesome. But it did make a fun duel. It was kind of cool to see Yugi and the Spirit of the Millennium Puzzle kind of having like an inner struggle, because the Spirit of the Puzzle was willing to kill Kaiba to help Yugi save his grandpa. So like, Yugi didn't want to set the Spirit free because he was afraid the Spirit was gonna hurt Mai. So it was fun to see Mai completely destroy Yugi in this duel until the very end. Then Yugi destroys a mirror wall, and Mai ends up surrendering the duel. And then it goes on to Yugi beating Pegasus. Anyway, the rules in Mirror Force are not my favorite. I understand why it was never really used again by Mai or any other duelist throughout the rest of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, just because it's a really risky trap card to use, especially since it's 2,000 life points to spend to activate it. Anyway, that takes number 1. Just because the rules were ignored for the entire duel of that, I gotta give it number 1. Anyway guys, that's what I got for you. I hope you're enjoying these anime videos. I really am enjoying making them. I think they're a lot of fun to think of and to record my thoughts, make videos on my thoughts about them. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, for another anime video, check in whenever you want. Anyway guys, that's it. We'll see you next time.